Well, hello there. I'm super excited to bring you a very special lady today, Miss Sandy Anastasi, psychic channel, intuitive astrologer, and soul coach. And she's created a system that's combined tarot, astrology, numerology, psychic, and spiritual development into a single transformational tool. And I'm just so jazzed about this, Sandy. It's just such an incredible piece of work that you've created here. What problem do you solve for people with this new tool that you've created?
People come to me, Rosie, with, every problem you can possibly imagine. It could be that they want to have better relationships, or I'm a soul coach / life coach, and people have all their different problems. But if I were going to say there's one particular thing that this deck addresses, at the root of everyone's issue is that they want to evolve beyond whatever that level of the issue is, i.e. they want to learn, they want to grow, they want to be able to get to a point in their own personality, their own personal journey that takes them beyond whatever their present situation is.
Here we have this beautiful box and the beautiful artwork. How do you see your clients using this tool?
Well, I'm going to see this tool used by many different groups. Out of the box, it can be used as a divination tool, just drawing cards to find out what's going on in your life. For people who are interested in studying the mystical Kabbala, which is not a Judaic version of the Kabbala, but a Western mystical version of the Kabbala. These cards actually represent each path on the tree of life. For somebody who's tracking their life and their evolution through the Kabbala can actually use the paths that are represented in the cards as a way of tracking their journey to higher consciousness. There's also a group that's going to use it as a tool through meditation and through actually working with the cards in their daily practice, whatever that may be, to develop and elevate themselves beyond where they were before. So they'll actually use it as an actual tool in their life journey. And then, of course, I also happen to teach a Kabbala Pathworking class online once a year. And the people who take that class are able to use the card deck as an addendum, as an extra tool for what they're learning and developing in the class itself.
You have multiple cards. Pull them up and you're going to do a reading for us.
Okay, now this first card that you've pulled up is actually path 12 in the Kabbala. So if somebody is a student of the Kabbala, they will find this path, this card, all the way up at the top of the tree of life, taking you from the feminine archetype of the universe, the feminine principle, to the Godhead Kether itself. But in ordinary language, for the ordinary person, you're going to see this path at the beginning of everything in your life that you choose to develop. And there's a moment at the beginning of whatever your journey is. There's that moment where you're able to see with that intuitive part of you and understand what the entirety of the journey will be. And that'll include your hopes and your challenges, the places where you know you're going to hit a roadblock, the places where you know you're going to have to put extra energy. Maybe you're going to have to come back and redo something 2 or 3 times. And it's at the beginning of that journey that you see the way the entire journey will go, and that you can plan and organize for all of those things in order to make things go as smoothly as possible.
And then you have a pathway that's on all of your cards.
The second card that you can see on the screen, each path, what I did is I've color coordinated each of the lines that you see in this line drawing. Each of those colored lines are a path. Color coordinates with the path itself, so it stimulates something in your psyche. Every symbol that is in the card, every symbol that's on the back of the card is there because it's stimulating something in your human psyche in order for you to actually blend and merge energetically with the path. So these cards they're not just read as something external to self. They become you as you work with them. They stimulate your subconscious mind. On the bottom right, you'll have what gemstones connect with the path, so you could carry those with you to stimulate yourself still more. On the left side, we have the correspondence to in the traditional tarot, what the major arcana card would be. And this particular card would be the Fool card. The gold card that you have up here to the right That's actually got two things on it. The symbol on the bottom of the card is a universal symbol. It's the crown center mandala. When you work with that and you gaze at it, it stimulates your third eye and your crown center to open, which corresponds directly to the card face itself, because this 12th path stimulates your third eye and your crown. It stimulates your ability to see clairvoyantly. And the words that are on this are excerpted from my book. So you would find these words if you read my Kabbala Pathworking book, which is available on Amazon.com. The card that's all the way to the right, that gives you a list. Those are things that as you work with this card, you're going to see starting to unfold within yourself. Even if you just slept with this card under your pillow or carried it with you during the day, you're going, even without listening to the path on my website, just carrying the card with you, you're going to begin to see the things that are written on this card all the way to the right begin to unfold in your life. You're going to get better at all of that.
The best part, I think, of this mobile interactive deck is this part right here.
This path
where, listen,
part of the supernal triad of the tree of life. It takes us from the part of the tree that represents the great mother, the mother of all that is, into that point of light, which is God, from which all else springs. This path takes you into past lives, future lives, gives insights and understandings on a grand scale. When you truly embrace the consciousness connected to this path, will have deep insights into both yourself and others. You will know where your actions in this moment will lead. Obviously, you'll be making a lot fewer mistakes. What a wonderful place it is to see at the birth of any person or endeavor its entire life cycle, and know that no matter what that being goes through, you can see it on its journey from beginning to end and be there to help at those crucial moments. How wonderful is that?
I'm telling you, that's so wonderful, Sandy, because I am like mesmerized with the sound of your voice. And when you're going to have that deck right on your phone on an app, and so the picture's as large as your phone, and you'll see how Sandy's hair was kind of like blending in the background. It's like, I don't know how that happened. It was just like, the whole thing became this magical thing. So it's a very special, very unique deck and teaching tool. Just by going through it, you're going to learn so much on healing yourself and being able to do these readings. Amazing. So Sandy, what was it like for you to create this?
It was not intentional. I had, now the system, the Kabbala Pathworking system I developed, that's been a tool that, or a course that's really unfolded over a 40-year teaching career in all areas of metaphysics. In that course, I pull basically everything you can imagine together to learn and grow and evolve. I had no intentions of creating a card deck. I was able to fit everything into those cards. Amazing. That actually made the card the path.
I'm sure that, things change for you because of it. So I always love to just ask, what did you notice about yourself during this whole process of bringing this to life?
Well, during the process, it was myself, taking my own course, but on a much, much deeper level than I had ever taken it before, because I really had to get down into the core of every single path in order to develop those cards. Wow. And then when I worked with you, and you helped me with those videos, for example, absolutely mind-boggling, beautiful. I can actually pick up one of the cards or open the Deckable app on my phone and look at one. No matter what I'm doing, I'm immediately brought back to center, balanced.
Yeah.
I can look at that video the one that, for example, you just had up. And as I'm listening to it, I'm being brought into a meditative state. And of course, the Deckable app actually has a place for meditation, so I can go from there straight into the meditation and time it. So the whole deck just really flows. It works beautifully, especially with the Kabbala app. It's very.
You have really created a complete system for, whether you want to learn to do those readings yourself or just for yourself, or just, consult every once in a while when you need it. It's truly amazing. I'm like so intrigued by this whole Kabbala thing now. I'm like, oh, I got it. This once a year course. I got it. So when's the next time your course is coming?
I teach it during the summers. It's going to be starting soon. The Wednesday night after the 4th of July, and I'm not sure what the date is on it, but that's when it will start. When I first developed that class, it was because I was studying everything in the metaphysical world, and I knew there was a common denominator. And I was also teaching psychic development. And now that's also a course I teach that's a very intense class. But people in that class, if they really were willing to work and put in the elbow grease, they developed unbelievable skills. But the ones who were a little lazy didn't get that satisfaction. So I said to my guides, there's got to be a way to teach people, train their psychic faculties, raise their consciousness, give them all the things my psychic development system is giving them, but without the effort, in a much easier format. And back then, my guides led me to creating the Kabbala Pathworking class, where frankly, all people have to do is sit and listen to a meditation, and they change. They grow, they transform, and with ripples, their life changes. Now, with this deck, it's another level. It got easier still. Now, you can carry the deck around on your telephone and open it and look at the next path, and it's going to have the same transformative effect.
Yes, so, and your mesmerizing voice and the beautiful music that you took the time to coordinate with each piece. There's so many parts that were pulled together for this that, when you look at it now all done, it's like, oh my goodness. But, there's so many pieces that you really had to work on that so that it flowed the way it does. And it's just it's a beautiful, really beautiful. And congratulations for putting a beautiful thing into the world.
And Rosie, thank you for all the help. I certainly could not have done it without your course and without all the help that you gave me to be able to create this absolutely amazing deck.